Yeah, I need to practice. I need to practice. It's that time, and I ain't got exactly none of that time. I ain't got no time. That's how I feel. This is hard. Dance. Practice. What do I need to practice on? What do I want to practice on? How long am I gonna practice for? Welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name is Kaide, and this is Road 35 to Infinity, where I basically am documenting my own practice for a full year. I welcome you into this chaos of what my practice is at the moment. With these videos, I'm hoping to make sense of what it is that I'm doing in order to reach my goals, and hopefully within all of this you'll be able to find something that can help you in your own practice, and if not, I hope that this is just also for your entertainment. I also brought this little guy. If you saw my first video, I said making a training schedule is hard. I've been looking for this perfect training schedule that will push me to new limits for years, and I kind of gave up on it, but now I want to see if I can make something happen. This is proof of that. I'm gonna jump into this and see what I can find from before, learn from the past in order to adjust my present so that my future looks bright. Is that possible? Before we do anything of that, there's a quick little recap. On Tuesday, I got to be a dancer in a music video for a duo called Sick Individuals, and I was one out of two dancers. I got to dance alongside Lisa De Faria. I haven't been in a music video for quite a while. I think the last music video experience I had was 10 years ago. So on Thursday, I was in a dance performance called Urban Tradition, which brought together 2 musicians, 1 DJ, 7 dancers, 1 light technician to improvise. We had 0 rehearsals, and we got together on the same evening before the performances 1 time, and then it was showtime. On Saturday, Sunday, I went to Hip Hop Revolution and got me these stickers, because these were the stickers that were given to you if you passed to the top 8. I lost in my first rounds, so I made it to top 8, and then no mas. Let's jump into what we're actually here for today. So last week I spoke about my daily movement habits. So if you missed that, there will be a link somewhere that you can check it out. So today I want to talk about structuring, how I'm structuring, trying to set up my own dance practice. For this, I brought this little book. In this little book, I've been sketching how I want to set up my dance practices. What do I find important to my dance? Anything I'm saying now is specifically for how I want to practice. So obviously I'm not going to be able to do a practice schedule that fits everybody. And here, how do I want to practice? I think the first word that I need to throw out there is I want to practice realistically, because it's not sustainable, for me at least, to set up practice, cram in a bunch of stuff from Monday to Saturday. I mean, I'm just happy that I actually put in a day to be free. So instead of practicing quantity, right, I want to switch that I practice less amount of times per week and that I increase the quality of the practice. Assuming that I practice 3 times a week, I have divided my practice into 3 categories. The first category or first theme is style specific practice. So in this practice session, I'll practice on things that are very specific for the dance style that I'm focusing on. If we take my case, focusing on house dance, I want to practice foundations, revisiting basics, steps, bounds, grooves, just listening to music, how I approach the music through my movements and dance, watching documentaries to kind of like fuel the feeling and the history behind the dance, so that I also come into practice with, again, reminding myself where this comes from. My second category is knowledge specific practice. What this means is that through my dance career or my time practicing this style, I've taken workshops, I've had conversations. What I've done is that I've written things down. During my time at Eshi folkhögskola, the school in the woods, I would write down a diary of, like, every day we had classes. I would write down what was the class structure today, what did we do, what were the exercises we did, and so on, and I collected that for a whole year. I want to revisit things that I've written down. There's so much that you probably have done or learned from classes that you can just revisit. And my third category is my own movement specific practice. With my own movement, to practice using the daily movement habits, so putting them into context. And then for me specifically, I'm very, very interested in floor work. So to then focus on developing my dance floor work, also researching and defining what for me is the Leviathan flow practice. So those are 3 categories that I've created for myself. So style specific, revisiting knowledge, my own movement practice. But it's hard. It's hard to really set up your practice long term. So I try to look at it long term practice and short term practice. So with the long term practice, I'm thinking, like, what are things I want to develop over time? There's no stress, there's no deadline. So what are characteristic for my way of dancing, my way of moving? It doesn't have to be done at a specific time. It's just something that I will be doing and gradually I'll develop. It's just something that will show every time I'm in a setting where I need to perform. And the short term might be, there's a battle coming up, so I structure my practice in preparation for that battle. It can be for that, getting my body ready for a certain performance. I'm practicing for a specific day. Your dance practice is exactly that. It's your dance practice, so it's very personal, and I don't want to sit here and say that there's a right or a wrong way to practice. It's just important for us to find our reasons why we're practicing. That's basically it for now. There's so much more I want to talk about, but we'll get into that at a different time. I want to leave you with a question, or with questions. Feel free to answer and share, please. What do you find important to when you practice? What is it that you focus on? How often do you feel it's important to practice? How long do you feel is an ideal time to practice? I would love to hear about it. Please share with me. I thank you for tuning in, and do consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It would help me to slowly grow and also to be able to reach out to more people who might find this interesting. I need to get to practice. It's time. So I'll see you in the next one. All this is my attempt to find a practice schedule. It's a bit overwhelming, but there are some ideas.